All right, ladies and gents, this is a sign.
That's true. And that sign says it's the Glaziar Gambol, which is the channel that you're listening to right
Oh,
now.
it also
And
says it right here on
oh
my
my
shirt.
oh my
I
gosh.
got two of them.
Oh my
I got
gosh.
both of
Both
them.
of them. And today, more superhero talk, like usual, because that's kind of what this whole thing's
That's
about.
what we
That's why
do
you're
here.
here. Entertainment, superheroes, all the above. And we got some casting stuff. We talked about casting last week with Stephen Yin and Pedro Pascal. Just a quick touch on that. Sounds like the Pedro Pascal thing is cooling down a little bit due to fan reaction. Fans
Right.
were apparently not very happy about it. They do not they don't want him as Reed Richards, but they want him as something else.
Right. I mean, the Vanessa Kirby thing is
Pretty much set in
a
stone.
bullet in the chamber. Like it's dead on what I think everyone wants.
From
Like,
Sue Storm.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
pretty
like
much.
perfect. She's got the look, she's got the chops, like excited about that. And then yeah, Pedro Pascal's like, like I love him as an actor, but is he Reed? No, like I don't
He's not really Reed
necessarily see
Richards.
that. Like Joseph Quinn, I think is the other one for Human Torch. Also, eh.
Yeah.
And then there was someone else. I know it's like Baccaran is his last name. He played something. He was in the Punisher's Netflix show. He played like the tech Micro. He played
Okay.
Micro or Microchip or something like that. Micro in the Punisher series is kind of like an ally, like techie guy to Frank Castle. He did phenomenal in that role, but I don't know if he's necessarily like the
So
thing. So
we're gonna get into Fantastic Four stuff right away. We got a couple Fantastic Four, and then we're gonna talk about DC. There's one
sure.
thing with DC. But before we talk about the Fantastic Four casting, which is regarding Cillian Murphy as Doom and Anya
And
Taylor Joy as
Taylor
Silver
Joy
Surfer,
or
or
Nova,
Nova or
Nova,
Magik
which
or Mole Man.
yeah,
Um,
she could do all of them. I mean,
I
all of them.
wanted to ask you because I was just thinking about this the other day because I don't sleep anymore.
Right.
Um, and it was like 3 in the morning, and I started thinking about what would I do for Marvel? Like, what would be something cool? Because right now they are trying to push Young Avengers. We know that from Marvels.
Right.
We know
Yep.
the internet actually seems pretty excited about it. Maybe it's just because of my cookies, but I see a lot of positivity towards the Young
Sure.
Avengers. This would be my idea, sticking with Fantastic
For
Four.
the Fantastic Four. Okay.
So Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, their siblings.
Yes.
How would you? So in my mind, Human Torch is just a douchebag.
Right.
He, sh-
Cocky
he should be
car
just a
guy.
cocky douchebag. What do you think? Again, I'm totally fine if you disagree. Just going to lay that out. If you
Okay.
say hate that idea, not offended. What do you feel? How do you feel about if they did Sue Storm, but then Johnny Storm was her little brother who is like 18 or 19, still a D bag, still
Oh,
young, still athletic, still awesome, but he's like 18 or 19. So he's part of the Fantastic Four, but you could move him into the Avengers, get like or the Young Avengers, and get him to be like a young 20-year-old actor that's out there, something like that, playing
in
an 18,
in my
19-year-old.
opinion, he should be that age range. Like he should be the same age as Peter Parker. He should in the comics, they're in the same like college class. Like it's straight out of the comics. That's how Spider-Man kind of gets introduced to the Fantastic Four. So he should be that 18 to 19 range anyway. I think even if the actor's a little bit older, because obviously like Tom
Tom
Holland is
Holland,
like 25, 26 or something like that.
but he looks like he could be
But
younger.
he plays younger. So I'm perfectly fine with it. And I think Vanessa Kirby's probably gonna play like a late 20s, early 30s Sue Storm anyway. So her brother being 10 years younger is not that far fetched, I think. So I'm for that. I think he should be around whatever Peter Parker's age is.
Yeah, because I when I was thinking about it, I don't want like Chris Evans when he was Human Torch doesn't pass. He passes for maybe mid 20s, I think, in that
Sure.
maybe
Yeah.
early 20s,
Right.
but he doesn't look. I would be fine if he even looked even younger.
Yeah. Sure.
And I think the possibility of putting Human Torch near the Young Avengers or in the Young Avengers by making him so young could also be really fun.
Yeah. I think I would prefer him. I think the younger Avengers the Young Avengers are almost too young. And I mean, I know Kate Bishop's like 23. I get that. But like I feel like they're too young for Human Torch. Like if Human Torch is douchey, right? Like a douchebag, like you say, and he's cocky, does he fit with that?
I think he would have
Like would he not
tremendous
just hit on Kate Bishop
chemistry
the
with
entire time?
Yelena.
Okay. There, I mean, yeah, she's like low, like mid 20s.
And I feel like Yelena is going to be kind of brought in as the adult leader of the Young
Sure.
Avengers at some point. And I feel like her and a Human Torch, if he's just this cocky dude that bounces back and forth with her,
Right.
I think it'd be fun. Plus, you could always throw in like the younger, because right now there's 3 female characters.
Right.
You could always have them be enamored with his attractiveness at first.
Sure. Sure. I
Something
see
like that.
that.
Just an
I
just an
I
easy introduction.
I like him around that age range, but I'd love to see him in like Spider-Man 4, I guess. Like
Sure.
maybe even like a final thing. Like you know how they have like maybe Peter Parker goes through this whole thing with like Kingpin and like they finally bring in Scorpion. I think that'd be a sweet villain. I also think that they should do Black Cat, but that's a whole different thing. I think they should do Scorpion and then a little bit of Kingpin in there, and then he finally gets to like go to school. Like at the end, he wins, everything's fine, New York saved, he gets to go to class, and then they're doing introductions, and they're like Peter Parker or something like that, and he goes here, and then whatever, and then it's like Johnny Storm or like
Yeah.
or Storm Johnny, and he goes here, and then that's your introduction. That'd be like
Sure.
that's the end of it. That'd be sick.
Parker, Storm.
Right? Storm. Yeah, exactly. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, I like that idea. But we've also had multiple other good ideas that I think would have been better than what they actually did that they didn't.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, cool. I just
Norman
wanted to float
Reedus.
that by.
No, that's really good. I think he should be that age range. I don't think he should be any older than 20.
Okay.
Like I don't think he should be 21 because like you're telling me like I don't think that character should be like, all right, let's go to the bar. You know what I mean?
Right, like in Chris Evans he has that girl that he takes back home right away after he lights on fire and like is sitting in the hot tub.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's clearly over 21 in that. But yeah, if for those listening, watching, let us know. Would you want him at 20, 30, or would you want like teenager, something like a little bit even younger? Let us know. But yeah, sticking with Fantastic Four, there's a couple actors out there that are rumored to be in it. We've talked about Pedro Pascal, but Anya Taylor-Joy and Cillian Murphy are apparently front runners to play certain characters. We're going to do the one I want to talk about right away because I'm selfish and I love him. Cillian Murphy, apparently the lead to be Dr. Doom. We've seen the edits from Boss Logic and other great artists like that. And Cillian Murphy is perfect in everything he does, so we know he'd kill it. And I think Doom should be the most important Marvel character that you introduce. Heroes and villains alike. Doom should be the best casting you've ever had.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you'd have to go back and watch all of our videos, but I bet you could find 10 references, at least 10 to 20 to 30 references of us saying Cillian Murphy and Dr. Doom in the same conversation throughout some of our older videos.
Absolutely.
I think it's a no-brainer. I think some of the other actors they're looking at for Reed Richards are right around that can pass for that same kind of age range, which is right around it looks like they want to do like right around 40-ish for Reed or like late 30s for Reed, like an older established
they want
Reed.
To make sure he has the signature white mark,
right, and have it make sense, you know what I mean? And then Sue Storm, like I said, we talked about a little bit earlier, Vanessa Kirby would be like early 30s, and so there's not like a drastic like Josh Giddey timeline right there. There's not that much of a difference in age, which makes it make sense. And then Johnny Storm would be younger, obviously, too. And then the Thing, it doesn't matter what age he is, he's going to be CGI anyway. So yeah, I think Cillian Murphy is the perfect. He can pass for 50, he could pass for 60, he could pass for 40. You know, he has that like that distinguished look that they're going for, and the actor has to be around the same age range as who they want for Reed, and so it makes sense in that like time frame. And we've seen him play Scarecrow, and he's menacing in there. So
I mean, if you've seen Peaky Blinders, for those that like he's technically a good guy, but he's very villainous in that show.
Sure.
He's kind of anti-hero-esque. They're obviously not going to make Doom anti-hero. That'd be the dumbest decision ever.
Right.
So to see Cillian Murphy just go full on, like
Crazy
he's kind of like
power.
a normal good guy, or like just a normal guy before he becomes Doom, when he's just Victor.
Right.
And then to see him make that change to
Right.
just maniacal villain will be, if he does become Doom, would be, I think, one of the best things you've seen on a
Yeah.
movie screen.
Oh yeah.
He kills everything.
I mean, it's very similar to like how I feel like Jonathan Majors' performance too. Like I
Yeah.
think Jonathan Majors has been very, very good
Mhm.
as Kang and his variants. And so I think Cillian Murphy would be that same kind of aura about
Yeah.
him, even more. Like,
We've had a few castings in Marvel that I think they couldn't have done better. I don't think they could have. I think Jonathan Majors is destroying it as Kang. Like, he is absolutely
yeah.
great and everything.
I saw something. This is just since we're talking about Jonathan Majors and I brought it up. Apparently there's something in his contract that he's the only one that can play a variant.
Interesting.
So they can't do like different
So that
different
would
variant
be
or whatever.
Disney/Marvel kind of trying to
Being
put
like, yeah,
in,
you're the guy. You're the
you're the
guy.
guy, yeah. So
Yeah.
they would have to either move away from Kang or
Yeah.
just keep going forward with him.
Right.
But like some like I think Zoe Saldana's Gamora, they couldn't have done better.
Right.
I
Yeah, I
don't
think yeah.
I don't think Elizabeth Olsen could be topped. I don't think
Right.
somebody could do as better Scarlet Witch. There's just a few, even down to like, if you've seen Quantum Mania, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's better than people say. That in when they're in the quantum realm, the muscular leader, that
Sure.
lady,
Yep. Yeah.
whoever else you could have put there won't do as good as she just is
Yeah, she's in
awesome.
a lot of Star Wars projects too. So I
So
mean,
good.
Disney
So
knows her
good.
talent in general. So
If so, I think there's just some cat. I think Cillian Murphy would be the same way.
yeah.
He's just too good at everything he does. I don't
Yeah,
know what else.
there's so many people. Like even
Right.
Paul Bettany as Vision. Like
Yeah.
even that. Like Rhodey. Like I mean, there's just so many in Marvel that they hit the nail on the head with. So
Anthony Mackie.
yeah.
They've really done a really good
Yeah.
job. So I think no matter who they go with, we obviously know that their vision for the character is going to match who they pick. I can't, if the other, like, just a fun little exercise would be to try to think of somebody else who would be playing Doom, like who else is auditioning or going for the role that might be better than Cillian Murphy. The only one I can probably think of I know John Hamm was being talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that would be close. He's very good. I
Yeah.
still would rather
See,
have
I
Cillian
could see
Murphy.
John Hamm as Reed Richards too. Like
I
he's
could see
got
John. Yeah.
that like skinny face, like skinny
Mhm.
profile. So how I envision Reed Richards anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I could see him as that as well. So
I don't know who you have to have somebody as Reed Richards that can mirror Cillian Murphy's talents as well.
yeah. Yeah.
Like when they're in a scene
Oh yeah.
together, you can't let Doom is gonna overtake
Yeah,
anyway.
you want Doom to steal the scene, but you want the other person to be right there with
That's a
him too.
huge reason why Fant Four Stick sucked.
Yeah.
Doom was terrible.
Yeah.
I
Doom, like the power set, him just like showing up and them doing the test on him, then him just walking around popping heads. Like that was sick. But then 5 minutes later, the movie was over. So it's like we need to band together and beat him. And it's like, okay, we did it.
Yeah. And honestly, the only other person that comes to my mind for who I would want to play Doom, again, we have 30, 40 references on the channel about this. I've said this a million times. Julian McMahon, the original Doom,
Sure.
from the older movies. I still could see him playing Doctor Doom and doing a
Right.
great job because he's good as well. But yeah, I want Cillian Murphy. There's another Fantastic Four villain slash kind of villain. He's very mercurial. This character is very mercurial. Silver Surfer. It's
Right.
been rumored, talked about for a while now. They do want to gender swap
Right.
Silver Surfer,
Which
so
is perfectly fine. It's Norin Rad, I believe, is the Silver Surfer's name.
yeah. I saw somebody say it'll be Nora.
Yeah, that's right on. Right. Yeah.
Um,
So
that they've been talking about it's going to, so probably going to see a female Silver Surfer. And apparently the one that's rumored, she might be something else. I know, Joe, you've mentioned you'd rather have her play
yeah,
Magik.
I'd rather keep her as Magik. I think that's the only good part to the New Mutants.
Mhm.
And she looks like Magik. Like she
Yeah.
looks like Magik to a T.
And
And
who we're
she was
talking
like,
about is Anya Taylor-Joy, by the way.
yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy. And you already have like say you're doing Deadpool 3. I don't know if Colossus is going to be back in that, like with the CGI and all that stuff. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's Magic's brother. Like Colossus is Magic's brother in the X-Men universe. So you could make that reference right there. I think what I would if she I want her to play Magik because I would almost want the Avengers versus X-Men storyline kind of, but with Fantastic Four versus X-Men almost. And so like I know they do a lot of stuff in the and not necessarily quantum realm, but the dark dimension.
Mhm.
And Magik deals with all that stuff as well. And so that could tie into Doom, that could tie into just
Doctor Strange,
yeah,
Spider-Man.
right.
It
Clea,
could.
like Clea could be right there too, like because
Mhm.
they're investigating that dark dimension thing. So I'd love to see her stay as Magik. But there's another character named Nova who is another Herald of Galactus that she could also play. It's a character. The character is Nova, but Frankie Ray is the comic name or the comic
Mhm.
alias of them. So I'm fine if she plays Silver Surfer. I'm fine if she plays Nova. But it's very similar to Human Torch powers, so I don't know if they'll necessarily do Nova. But I'd like to see her as Magik. That's just a personal
Sure.
opinion.
We'll probably might see her as Magik in Deadpool 3, considering
Yeah,
Deadpool 3 is getting talked about like it's Secret War with all the
yeah,
people that are supposed to be
yeah. It's
coming
gonna
back.
be yeah.
All
And
the
Secret
Fox,
Wars, you could get her in Secret Wars as Magik too, if that's what you
yeah,
want to do.
all
So
the Fox
you're not
people
going to
have
be
been
able
seen
to
on set.
recognize her. You're not going to be able to recognize her as Silver Surfer.
No, it's going to be
So
CGI.
yeah,
It's going to be CGI.
so she
So,
could be Magik too, and then
but
it still makes sense.
Silver Surfer tends to have long, slender body, at least, and then fairly muscular.
Right.
I think you gender swap Silver Surfer. She has the right.
Oh yeah.
She has the right body for it. She has the right just acting skills for it.
Yep.
It just would be interesting to me. Will they make Silver Surfer villain or
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Silver Surfer is it's the Herald of Galactus, so it can't be like all good, right? Like he
right?
goes and he scouts out planets
So I
so
don't
that
know if you've
Galactus can eat
seen.
them.
So the rumor is Pedro Pascal is Galactus, not Reed Richards.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
fine
it
with
was there
that
was an edit. I
too.
think it may have been Boss Logic, but there was an edit out there, and it was Pedro Pascal as Galactus with his hand out, and in his hand is Anya Taylor-Joy's Silver Surfer.
Fair.
And I was like, okay, that looks
You see the
great.
vision. Yeah. I
I
mean,
can
Pedro
see the
Pascal
vision.
could be Galactus too. Like that's a lot
Right.
of
So you have
CGI as
Galactus,
well.
Silver Surfer, both of them. I don't know.
Right.
I think Anya Taylor-Joy is really good as well.
Right.
She's fantastic. What she could bring to Silver Surfer that's been missing from every other variation of Silver Surfer, the one that we've really seen.
Right. Right. Yep.
What we were missing from there, what she would bring, I think, would make the character a lot more well known, respected. Like right now, a
Right.
lot of people probably aren't that familiar with him. They're like, "Who the
Right.
hell is Silver Surfer?" I think she would bring
Power
some
level wise,
popularity to it.
power level wise, way up there. Silver Surfer is way up there, power level
Mhm.
wise.
Yep, in the comics, outspeeds when Human Torch is going like supernova to try to go as fast as he can. Silver Surfer glides by.
Yeah, Silver Surfer's
Crazy.
insanely strong. I think like there's very few people who can like compete with like Ghost Rider level strength. And Silver Surfer can. So
Mhm.
like Ghost Rider like 2099 like clears most people, and Silver Surfer's right up there. So I think that's also really cool is having like to get actors and actresses to play this role. You can be like, oh, by the way, you're gonna be one of the most powerful people in the entire Marvel universe. Like that's a selling point, I
And
guess.
they've already done that with a lot. I don't always try to bring any necessarily like politics or demographic discussions into it, but Marvel does have a very clear direction of they do want to make female characters strong, especially strong. Like if it makes them stronger than the comics, Miss Marvel, this variation of her, you could argue is much stronger than she is in the comics.
Much stronger. Much stronger. Yeah.
They're kind of doing that with most female characters. And I think
Scarlet Witch,
Silver
Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being. Like that's the 616 universe, which is the comic universe, not this one. You can talk to Iman Vellani about that, but I tend to agree. I tend to agree with her that this universe should be a different universe than the 616
agreed
comic universe.
Everything out of her mouth is gold.
Yeah,
everything she says is smart.
That 616 universe, like Wanda is insanely powerful, like insanely powerful to the point where she wipes out like 90% of the mutants, and that's House of M, which I want them to do still. But
so does Elizabeth Olsen.
Our Wanda, like I don't know what it was called, corpse walking or something like that, dream walking or something like that. She dream walked to a whole different universe, a whole different reality, and murdered the strongest people from that universe. Like, and she could probably, with her creating Westview, she could easily do House of M, like by just no more mutants, and then be like, okay.
And I think somebody with the star power, the talent of Anya Taylor-Joy would match pushing Silver Surfer even further.
Yeah.
I think that's a match made. I will just be honest, when they said gender swapping Silver Surfer to Anya Taylor-Joy, my initial gut reaction was pull away. Like, I don't like that. I don't want it. Because when I picture Silver Surfer, I just picture this silver mercurial looking thing that is ripped. I picture abs and pecs and trap, like just ripped.
Right.
And then still skinny, but yeah. But as I've thought about it, when I saw that Galactus picture with Pedro Pascal, that it really helps to see examples of it. It just really helps you picture it. I think if that's where they go, it's already heading into such a good direction that it's honestly raising expectations.
Right.
Like you bring Cillian Murphy and his Doctor Doom, my expectations for the movie skyrocket.
Oh yeah, star power wise, yeah,
and Vanessa talent, Kirby, like acting talent.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
You bring Pedro Pascal, Cillian Murphy, Vanessa Kirby, and Anya Taylor-Joy, and you haven't even done the Thing,
Reed Richards,
Human Torch, or Reed Richards yet.
Right.
Like, what is like my expectations are all of a sudden? Okay, this is probably going to have to be the best Marvel movie yet.
Right.
It's like X-Men and Fantastic Four for me are the staples of Marvel. Like, if you could tell me, get rid of obviously Marvel Spider-Man universe is just their biggest moneymaker in terms of collectibles, everything
else but movies, right?
And when I think of villains, their villains tend to be like my favorite characters in Marvel. But Fantastic Four and X-Men are they need to be your focus. They need to be perfect, and they need to be the most important thing for you. So when
there's certainly a large, like Fantastic Four, you can't miss on any of them. Like the thing maybe has a little leeway, because it's a lot CGI,
and he's a cheesy character,
right?
Like having a slogan like "It's clobbering time,"
right?
It's the Thing is kind of cheesy, corny, whatever. However, you want to call it.
But it's also someone that, like, which they haven't really experienced much, is like there's a whole mental side of the Thing, of like him being just this like football player, like kind of like loser compared to Reed Richards, like his best friend, and then just being like deformed and like going through this whole process of like, because there's a lot of comic panels where like the Thing wants to kill himself, like he wants to die, like
he wants to kill himself in the original movie too, pretty much.
And so that's something that could be portrayed. That'd be really tough to see, but and like acting wise, I think it needs to be done.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a strip in the comic books where the Thing talks about how if he were to jump in the ocean, he'd kill himself because he wouldn't be able to swim,
right?
Like get back to the surface. and he stands at a bridge looking at it. Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there is a strip where he
Yeah.
contemplates
No,
floating down
it's
to the
very
bottom
dark, and it's
or
very
sinking.
dark for him. And like you go through that, if you went through that, like that emotional, that'd be a whole roller coaster.
And
Like that'd be
having
very hard.
that's why in like the original Fantastic Four, like that in the movie, that's why Doctor Doom focuses so hard on getting him back to human because he can appeal to that side of him.
Right.
And he's the one that if without him he feels he can beat the Fantastic Four.
Sure.
I think having Cillian Murphy kind of lean into that, or Doctor Doom, whoever plays Doom, kind of leaning into torturing the mental side of the thing,
Yeah.
makes him less campy, makes him a lot more
Yeah.
enjoyable as a character.
And then once he gets to a good mind, a good like comes back to Earth and he's himself again, like that's when like and the Fantastic Four starting to win, that's when he could be like give a smile and be like it's clobbering time, and that'd make it make sense, not be cheesy really. It'd
Yeah.
be like
Just please don't make it so a fan or some random person comes up with his slogan for him in the movie.
yeah.
I just hope he just says it naturally,
Right.
not like, "Oh, you really clobbered those people."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah.
turning it into a
Yeah.
thing. Just don't.
Right. No, yeah. So Fantastic Four, you have to nail. The X-Men, those core members, you have to nail too. Like, there's a lot of core members, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine. I mean, Deadpool's already cast,
The
but like,
big one is Rogue.
yeah, Rogue's tough. Like,
And
Rogue's tough to do too.
she's so big in the comics. They had to make her weak in the earlier movies. They didn't really make her character the way they made her in the comics, and they powered her down. They kind of just dumbed that character down. They didn't really get to explore, and that's one that I think a lot of fans want to see
Right.
nail Rogue.
Yeah, you got to end like.
Sorry. Josh, calm down.
She's 20 at least, man. Relax. No, I think personally, like that's when I think of the X-Men, I want to see who they recast. I know they have Kelsey Grammer's back. I know Kelsey Grammer's back. I know that Ryan Reynolds is back, and I know some of those characters through that Cable probably is back too. But I would imagine they are going to recast a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of those are very. I want to see. My biggest thing I want to see is Rogue versus Captain Marvel, because that like Rogue steals basically like 99% of Captain Marvel's powers, and she's just like she's very villainous. She's very like bad. So I want to see that because I think it'd be
Rogue.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see Carol without her powers, like how she deals with that. Because we get a lot of like cheesy sarcasm with Carol Danvers, and that's kind of who that character is. But like seeing an emotional struggle until her eventually gets her powers back and just whips some ass, like that'd be fun to see too. So
I agree. What we're trying to get here is Anya Taylor-Joy would be an amazing Silver Surfer. Cillian Murphy would be an amazing Doctor Doom. And it's kind of because we're saying that you need to nail Fantastic Four, you need to nail X-Men. In my eyes, those would both be nailing it as castings.
100%.
Obviously, we'll have to see how it turns out. Even Pedro Pascal as Galactus, I think, when they said he was going to be in it, him as Reed Richards, I think would not be nailing the casting.
Yeah, it'd be odd.
Yeah, him as the Thing, maybe.
Yeah, that would work. But do you want to put one of the hottest actors right now in the Thing role? You know what I mean? So,
well, you have to think about that pretty hard. Like same with Anya Taylor-Joy. When you make her Silver Surfer, you don't see her. You're not going to see her. You're going to see her features.
Right. But you could also be like, oh, by the way, like,
you know what I'm most excited
Secret Wars,
about?
like Matt, you can come back as Magik too. So it could probably be like a double-edged sword. Like,
you know now I'm thinking about it, what I'd be most excited for with the gender swap Silver Surfer, the hair.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how they do, like, if they gave her like long hair,
right?
Kept her long hair, just had it like flowing as she's gliding instead of bald and just
Right.
completely smooth.
Right.
Seeing
Yeah.
silver hair would look
Yeah.
so cool. Now that
It'd
I love the idea of
be
it.
cool if she even uses it as a weapon. Like she does like a hail whip and like slits someone's neck or something like that.
Mhm.
Like,
And
yeah, it's
that in
aggressive, but I mean,
general, I would like
yeah,
the movies to be a little bit more brutal. I know
yeah,
they're still targeting children as their audience.
yeah.
That's
But
partially why
Echo
they're
is
going to Young
TV mature.
Avengers.
Echo's TV mature, so we're gonna get a taste.
Daredevil is gonna be
TV mature. It has
TV
the Punisher
mature.
in it, man. Like
Yeah.
Blade's supposed to be R. Like
Mhm.
so, yeah.
Deadpool's gonna be R, obviously.
And that's just the very dark side of Marvel, you know. And speaking of dark things, the DC universe,
Oh yeah, I forgot. We still have to talk about that.
right? The DC universe has made another casting to Superman Legacy.
Mhm.
Nicholas Hoult is apparently playing Lex Luthor.
I'm
How do you
another
feel
person.
about that? You're a big
I'm
Nicholas Hoult fan, so
Yeah, he was who I want. It was when it got down to Robert Pattinson or Nicholas Hoult for Batman.
yeah,
I wanted Nicholas Hoult as Batman. Clearly,
made the
DC
wrong one. Yeah, like,
well,
I mean, I
clearly.
don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if Nicholas Hoult could have captured the same Batman esque.
Right?
I
Yeah.
think Nicholas Hoult would have been a way better Bruce Wayne, but I haven't seen enough Bruce Wayne from Pattinson.
Well,
But
I didn't
Pattinson's
realize they were going to use
Batman,
such a dark
yeah,
Batman. If I knew they were going to go that dark with Batman from the get go, I would have said, okay, yeah, Pattinson's probably going to be a better one than Holt. But
right.
when I picture Batman, a lot of time I picture like the black and the like bright yellow and kind of like
Yeah,
Adam West ish.
sure, yeah,
So when I picture that, it's like, oh, I'd much rather have Nicholas Holt.
yeah, right,
But clearly DC kept him in mind because apparently he is going to be, or rumored, he's going to be Lex Luthor.
probably, yeah,
Probably
yeah,
going to be Lex Luthor, and I think James Gunn knows what he's doing. He's done everything he's done. I think has been good, no matter
yeah,
what the internet
oh
wants to
yeah,
tell us. And I think Nicholas Hoult he brings the edge that people that because we saw the vision they went with Jesse Eisenberg. We knew what they
right.
wanted to go
The
with Lex Luthor.
crazy, but the look was not there
Not there
at all, not
but
even
Nicholas Hoult,
close.
we've seen him with
Yeah,
the shaved head. We've seen it. He can have the look
you can do that
while
little
still
psychotic too.
bringing that psychotic
Right,
villain that
right,
he can match Jesse Eisenberg's ability to bring out that psycho because I think Jesse
right.
Eisenberg's super good at that.
Oh yeah,
But while still being able to, if he wants to bulk up a little bit, we've seen him bulk up a little. We know he can do the look. So I actually love the
yeah.
idea
Oh,
of
he's the same age range as what David Corn Sweat too.
Mhm.
Like same age range too. So it's like they're gonna be enemies for years to come. So
And he's an actor I want to see in multiple, similar with like Cillian Murphy being Doctor Doom. Doom is going to be in more than one movie. There's
oh yeah,
you can't have the best villain in Marvel, hands down. Nobody even
yeah,
comes close in one movie. If you're
yeah,
gonna have Thanos be in like 7 movies, even
right,
if they're just for little bits, you can't have Doom be in one. Just like they're
right,
not having Kang in one project.
right,
Doom's gonna be multiple. Lex Luthor for Superman is good. Joker to Batman is
right.
it,
It is Joker to Batman, yeah.
they have to be the constant fight. You beat him, doesn't matter, he comes back every
Right,
time. He never seems to ever
right.
stay
And you're not
down.
gonna kill him because Superman doesn't kill if he doesn't have to. And I think DC has done a job. Like, there's no if you've ever like if you've seen the Batman, there's no way that in the Batman he doesn't kill people. There's no way. Like, and so even like Ben Affleck's Batman, like there's no way some of these punches he's throwing and he's like throwing bikes at people. There's no way these people are surviving.
Right.
So like saying Batman doesn't kill, like I think that's unrealistic. And I
He
think
doesn't directly kill.
yeah, I think that's unrealistic. Like having your heroes not kill
Mm-hmm.
if they're superheroes, you know what I mean? Because like it's just inherently gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I think embracing that better than being like, oh, it's not happening. It's just like they're fine. Like,
Mm-hmm. And Lex Luthor, he's gonna kill.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna like genocidal kind of
Yeah.
killing.
He's
Power hungry. He's very power hungry, and he I mean, he eventually gets that big suit of like kryptonite, and Superman can't take him. So.
Right, and powerful enough to gather large amounts of kryptonite.
Right.
Which is supposed to only be on another planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's able to gather it and weaponize it.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult, I think it would be amazing. I think he would absolutely pull it off. I'm glad you reminded me because I completely forgot that we were supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, I saw the timer and I was like, all right, let's transition this. Let's see what happens.
So unfortunately, we don't have too much time to go into that, but kind of quick sum up here. Cillian Murphy, Doctor Doom, perfect. Anya Taylor-Joy, a female swap Silver Surfer, great.
And hopes she's back as Magik too. I think it's a double-edged sword, and that'd be sick.
That would be perfect. And Nicholas Hoult, I think, gives that vision of Lex Luthor that we've kind of been craving, that we've only really gotten from animated versions of him.
Right.
So I think
the one thing that would entice, I think, Nicholas Hoult is you can play Batman, you could audition for Batman, you could audition for Superman. Your role is very clear cut. Like you know what that character is, you know what that character is going to do. Lex Luthor, you get a wide range of things to do as Lex Luthor, because you're like the good guy to the media, to the world, but then you're this absolute diabolical villain to the superhero that's also the good guy to the world. So and you're trying to make that good guy seem like the bad guy. That'd be, from an acting standpoint, very much more like skill intensive, I guess, from an acting standpoint, like more I don't know the word, like just more interactive and like intricate, I don't know.
Well, again, we don't have too much time, so let us know what you think. I'm absolutely excited for every single piece of news, as long as the Pedro Pascal thing is not Reed Richards. Otherwise, I'm super excited for all of it. Tell me what you think. What would you if you don't like it, what would you rather those actors be, or who would you rather have in those roles? And are you going to even go see these movies? Probably. If you are, what else do you want to see from these movies? Again, follow, like, subscribe, everything, share it. And want to let you know you all look great today. GG.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'm tired of my chest. I'll never forget what it's